Here we go. We are live.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Yeah, this is fun. What is it warm in Michigan today? It is warm there, right?
It is beautiful today. Very windy. Very windy. It'll knock you over, but it's very beautiful. T-shirt weather today.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking to see if I can see it so I can see the chat. Oh, it looks like there's one person in here.
Hello, one person.
Hello, somebody. Oh.
I have another screen up here so I can watch the chat.
Oh, I should have done that. I didn't think.
Yeah, you got to be careful with it though, because you have to totally mute the other thing. If not, you'll get. I've done that a couple times where if I didn't mute it and you could totally hear the feedback, I'm like, oops.
Okay. And I did not mute this, so I'm going to do that right now. But it's not. It says it's live in 5 minutes, but it's not. We're not playing.
Try and refresh it.
All right. Oh, somebody has commented.
That's me.
You are. There's Valerie. Hi, Valerie. I can see. Okay, I can see him over there. I don't need this. All right.
There's usually a delay between StreamYard and the actual chat.
Okay.
Hello, Valerie. Hello, Tara. Hi, Vineyard Chicks.
Hey. Oh. Hi, Tara. Hi, Vineyard Chicks. All right. So people can see us. Yay. This is my first live. So the real one. I've done a couple with my daughter, but never with StreamYard. So this is my first one with a guest. And I just want to welcome Courtney. Thank you for being here with me today from Whyde Family Farm. If you haven't checked out our channel, you really need to go over there. She's doing some great things with her garden. So tell me a little bit about your channel. What do you do on your channel?
I am we're just a fun family filled channel. We, have animals and a garden, and I throw in some recipes and I throw in some of my cooking, and I do can, but I only water bath can for the time being. So I have a couple of water bath canning videos, tomato juice and stuff like that.
I saw your black currant jelly.
Yes.
Really good. We
have several black currant plants, or bushes, I guess you would say. And they're so prolific. They get thousands of berries on them, and you can never harvest them all at once. It's ridiculous. So we still have some in the freezer. We were going to mix some with elderberries and try and get like a new flavor. Ooh. Because, you kind of get sick of that black currant. It's very tart. It's a acquired taste, I guess you'd say. But,
well, welcome, Courtney's husband. Thank you for coming in. I have to brag for a minute. He was my fan before Courtney. He's from Whyde Family Farm too, and he actually got Courtney to come into my Facebook group. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, he always teases me. He's like, I was a fan. He's like, I'm one of the original OGs. Like, yeah.
Surprisingly, we have a very high percentage of men in our group. So
yeah,
I'm very proud of that, because I think, we make it so that everybody feels comfortable in there. So
yeah, I mean, anybody can. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if you're hunting and gardening,
yeah,
you have
hunting is a really big thing with men. Like they want to be able to make their own beef jerky and and all that kind of stuff too. So that's a really big thing with men. So I'm not surprised that you have a lot of men in the group, which is really cool.
So you just got a canner, I heard.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to actually use it.
So we're gonna get you doing pressure canning all summer. Well,
Yeah, I'm going to be, because our garden's just going to be packed full of stuff, and I've gotta preserve it. So I'm so grateful. We purchased some shelving just a couple weeks ago. So we got a couple of shelving up for our plants, and then the other shelving is going to be for all of our canned goods and like all of our jars and stuff like that. So we're going to set that up. So we're going to have a nice place in our basement set up for all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited. I never did an actual pressure canner before, so it does make me a little bit nervous. But
well, you'll have to watch the video I did on what actually happens if a canner explodes.
Okay.
Not what people think.
Yeah. It's not going to take out my cupboards and
no
my ceiling and
that picture drives me crazy, because it's like canners have one lid. So if there's a lid in the ceiling, which couldn't have blown in that direction anyway, why is there one in the oven if this is a real picture?
Yeah.
There's your first clue.
Yeah.
And how many of you can with food raw on the counter that you haven't put in your canner yet? There's your second clue. The package hasn't even been opened, and let's be honest, if we're canning, we're not making dinner.
Right, exactly. Not at the same time. No way. I don't have room for all that.
You're ordering pizza. Let's be honest. Very few of us, unless a lot of times I'll make dinner first and I'll make planned leftovers I can. But we're not like, making dinner that's sitting out on the counter over here. So that photo is so staged, and it scares so many new people. I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that's been passed around the internet for sure that has definitely scared people, including myself when I first saw it. And then I was like, wait a minute.
No.
You have to really analyze it.
Welcome, LG Homestead. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, LG.
But yeah, you look at that and you're like, wait, if it goes up, it would have went, and if it had hit the thing at that angle, it would have reflected off, not went past it and been on the other side of it up in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, no, because my physics class says this is improbable and impossible. Oh,
ooh, that sounds good.
Yes, cranberry grape jelly sounds really good. Really good.
Mm-hmm.
Grape one is hard because grape's jelly doesn't like to set. So you have to make sure you get it boiling up to the right temperature and keep it boiling for long enough. And that's the trick to grape jelly. You got to make sure you get it boiling good.
Yeah. Yeah, make it sure that it's thick. That we had a hard time at first when we first started doing the water bath canning with the black currant. We boiled it too much. You can boil it too much, and then it was still good. It's still good. It's just so thick. It was like, but it was still good.
You can slice it to put it on your sandwiches. It has a lot of natural pectin. That's the good thing about mixing the cranberry and the grape is the cranberry has a lot of natural pectin, so it'll help the grape set up better than it would by itself.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Well, LG, you just need to join the Rebel Canners on Facebook and we'll help you. We'll talk you through anything you want to do. We've talked a lot of people through it. So,
and people are really nice in the group too. I've asked several questions and people just, because I know this question might be stupid to canners, but how do I do this? And they're just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So great.
Yeah. Well, we try, and we have a be kind is our number one rule. And if you can't follow that rule, then you're not welcome in my living room. And that group is my living room, and you're my guest in that group, is my opinion. And if you wouldn't be allowed to act that way in my living room when you're physically in front of me, I don't want you acting that way in other people's living rooms that come into the group.
Yeah.
So, bye-bye.
Yeah, for real. People, I don't know why. And it's the same with chicken groups too. People just think that they're a wealth of knowledge and they know more than you. And like, whoa.
Yes. I am picking up some hatching eggs today.
Ooh.
I am not hatching them. I've loaned out my incubator. And so I get to watch them hatch though. So that'll be fun.
That's fun. I think we're going to hatch some more eggs.
Yeah.
Just to try and sell some of our chickens, but it's a barnyard mix. It's not anything like.
I actually hatched these chickens for my niece 4 years ago.
Oh.
So they were a barnyard mix of her original chickens, and she sells eggs. And so I knew she had chickens, and I'm like, I just want the boys to learn how to, hatch and see it. And I want everybody to experience it. And we wound up hatching out 4 sets. We kept 30 and we gave her the rest. So we did 4 hatches, and she got 3 of the hatches and I kept 1 of them. So it was just fun. Yeah.
That's so cool. I like hatching the eggs. I like seeing that. Like, I never had that opportunity when I was a kid to see any of that. So when I can do it, it's like science. It's so cool to me. Like, well,
we were homeschooling then, and so I just thought it was really important for the kids to see the life cycle.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to do it. You can't learn from a book. I learn hands-on. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a hands-on person. I can't. If I had to read and then do it, it would take me forever to do it. So I'm more of a hands-on person.
Yeah. Oh, so LG's hatching some eggs right now too.
Cool.
Oh, and Vineyard chicks are getting ready. Yeah, you're a little bit north of me. It's still pretty cold up there. You're probably lucky the eggs aren't freezing now. You're a little bit farther. Although you get a little protected too, so.
Yeah. I didn't realize I guess you just don't realize all the different grow zones, like Wisconsin and stuff. They have like 3A and up there towards, Massachusetts, they have like 3B and all these different zones that are just they're so cold. So,
well, my zone has changed in my lifetime. We used to be 5A, now we're 5B, but like this year when they get the hard frost and stuff, there's different years where we actually, everything dies because it frosts so hard. So I try to plant 3s and 4s, things that are hardy to zone 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Just because I know every 15 to 25 years, I'm going to get a deep, deep frost.
Yeah. Yeah, we get frost, but it's not that bad. Sometimes, some years it can be though, because we have apple trees and stuff, and when it frosts, it wipes out the crop, or or something like that. Cherry trees are the worst. I love cherry trees. I just can't. I know one year we had like a combination of humidity and rain and all this stuff, and the cherries were just molded before you could even pick them. So.
I planted my orchard last year, so it'll be a while before I get anything.
It's a lot of fun, though. I love being able to just pick something off a tree and eat it. It's so cool.
Well, I was spoiled. My grandparents sold their farm that had been in the family several generations to my aunt and uncle, and my aunt and uncle had a peach and apple orchard.
Ooh.
So I grew up in the orchard, starting at like 8 or 9. My summers were spent taking a little wagon around picking up all the deadfall apples, because back then all the apples that fell you made cider with.
Yeah.
I love and that. Then I'd babysit their grandkids, my cousins, because I was much older than them. And then I'd be taking them around in the wagon while they did it. Hi, Jess. I hope you don't mind. Keto Homestead with Jess came in. I hope you don't mind. I made you a moderator. Surprise, you have a wrench.
Hi, Patty. Hi, the Tinker's wife.
Hi,
Thanks
Patty.
for coming in.
So then, as I got older, I'd have to pick. And then when I got a little bit older, I would be selling stuff. So I'm spoiled. I can pretty much tell you what an apple is by tasting it. You could blindfold me with a bunch of apples and I could tell you what kind they are, if they're old breeds.
Nice. There was one specific, and I'm so mad I didn't get it because, well, it was because of everything that was going on. We didn't get a chance to go back to, there's like a little apple orchard around here, and I didn't get a chance to go back, but I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Jonah. It's a Jonah apples. Oh my Lord, they are so good. They're like real big and they're hard, and they're not like so hard that it's like grow. You know, some of them can be so hard. It's like, but it's like juicy. Oh, it was so good. It's probably one of my favorite apples. I need to go back and get some. But they only like grow them in late October or something. They only like they're like a late variety or something.
Must be like a Granny Smith. Are they a green apple? Like a Granny
They are
Smith?
kind of like a lightish yellow green color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jonagold.
Oh, Jonagold. That's it.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm a horrible name thrower.
Yes. Jonagolds are actually a crossbreed of Jonathan apples and Golden Delicious.
Oh, they're fabulous apple. I want to get a bunch of them. I wouldn't mind having a couple of those trees here.
Yeah. Oh, you can find the trees. Those aren't hard to find.
Yeah. They're just
I'm sitting on a
apples
stool.
are great.
Not as balanced as I thought it was going to be. So, hi, Lion of Judah, Lamb of God. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, hi, Big Blue House Homestead.
Oh, I didn't see them. Hi.
Like you're waiting on a truck of manure. Oh, that's
a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
So, last year the kids got given, when school closed down, they got given some money on a card that they could do stuff with. And one of the things you could do was buy seeds or fruit trees with it. So I asked them if they wanted, it was like the food stamp kind of card, but it was a government program. And I said, do you want junk food, or do you want to buy trees? And all three of them said, let's buy trees. So we got 4 apple trees, 2 cherry trees, a plum tree, and a nectarine tree.
Cool.
So that's how we got our orchard last year. That was we were pretty excited. So
Yeah, that's really cool.
I hope they made it through the winter.
Yeah, we were just out there yesterday just assessing our situation because we planted last year a bunch of blueberry bushes and stuff, and we didn't think they were going to make it because they were super small, but they're making it. They're fine. They're still alive. So we have like 6 now blueberry bushes. So
nice.
Super exciting. And yeah, I have one big bush and it produces really well, but I was like, we need more. Mm-hmm. So we planted 6 more last year. So
nice.
Yeah. Plus
high bush or low bush or are they high bush berries? Are they going to be tall bushes or are they lower?
No, I don't know yet. I don't know because when I purchased them off of somebody that was just selling them on Craigslist, so I have really no idea what kind they are or anything like that.
You're on the border down there where you can grow both types.
Oh, okay.
So up here we have mostly the high bush. So
yeah, I actually up until this point I didn't really know there was a huge difference. I know when our one bush is just a bush; it's not really tall or anything. Mm-hmm. So.
Up here, they get to be about 8 foot tall.
Oh, wow.
You get the big high bush ones.
Nice.
And they're wild. There's a spot I know that's got a lot of them that are wild on state land. So I love to go out there and forage. I do a lot of foraging. I don't think I've ever mentioned that in our group before, but I do a lot of foraging. I love to do that. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, you got a pink lemonade blueberry bush.
Yeah, it's so fragile though, I think. And the berries that come on them are maybe 3 on a branch. It's so annoying. And I'm like, every year so far, I'm like, I want to try these berries. By the time I get out there, they're gone.
The birds.
Yeah, but it only grows 3 berries. So I'm like,
you're going to have to cover it with get one of those curtains, the grandma's curtains, the see-through ones, and cover it up as soon as you see a berry.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I hope this year. I don't know why it's not producing as much. I don't know if it needs a mate.
They do.
But I have another blueberry bush next to it. So I don't know.
Like the apples, some of them bloom at different times. So you have to have one that's blooming when it's blooming to cross-pollinate.
Yeah, so I don't know. It does have a mate next to it, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a weird bush. I don't know. Right. It does get berries on it. They're just not very big.
Or you don't have enough pollinators in the area. The first year I grew my garden here, I didn't get anything. It's because I had no pollinators. So right now I have 4 beehives just for pollinating.
Wow, I didn't know you had beehives.
Yeah.
That's cool. Someday I think we'll do that. In the meantime, I'm just going to try and plant as much flowers. I have a wildflower. Well, it was my grandmother's garden growing up here. And then every year I just I pull it out and put wildflowers in there. So it looks super cool, like in the summertime, just to have like all those wildflowers in there. And so
some pictures.
I'm hoping that really brings out the pollinators. And I have like mason bee houses and then I'm planting borage and I'm planting all this stuff that I hope that they like. You know,
they like your horehound.
I'm sorry, what?
They like your horehound. I know you have horehound planted. They like that.
Yeah, I have it planted. It's in a small area though. I don't have much of it because I didn't spread everywhere.
It'll take over.
It's part of the mint family, so it will just take over everywhere. But I was excited because yesterday I had a bunch of, because horehound, when it goes to seed, it actually goes in the form of like a spur or a it has like little hooks on it, and it so it can attach to an animal or whatever, and it can spread its seed that way.
Oh, I didn't know.
So I had like 3 or 4 of them that had pulled up, and they had like all these little spurs. So yesterday I actually got to harvest some of my horehound seeds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was super cool. It was just kind of a pain in the butt to harvest because you have those little prickers, and then you have to kind of shake them out. And, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd never done that before, so
that is fun.
Yeah, and I'm sending you some, so you're gonna get.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I put those coffee beans up, and I'm like, where did I put them? So I was looking for them yesterday, and I think I know where they're at now. So I'm get them dug out and get them mailed out.
I'm excited about growing that. I told my husband, I said, I'm just going to have to keep my grow light on it, and just try and get it as big as I can get it.
I have a confession. I have kind of a black thumb. My mother had the green thumb in the family, and I never had to really grow stuff. She just really, if she thought about growing it, it came up in the yard. And so I'm struggling to learn that skill because I never had to learn it for myself when I was younger. So,
yeah,
I might as well give you half the seeds from the coffee because I'm pretty sure I'll kill my half. So,
you might not though. You know,
I'm hoping to have my greenhouse done soon. So,
yeah,
I took a trampoline and I have the roof of it is the half round of the trampoline.
Okay.
And then I did the walls. Well, then somebody gave me twice as many windows as I need to do it in Windows. I bought the plastic, I bought the channel lock and the wiggle wire and didn't get it installed. And then late this fall, somebody gave me all these windows.
That's awesome.
So now I've got to get the metal out from in between my wood supports and put in all the windows. So,
yeah, that'll be beautiful.
And then the roof will be plastic, but that'll be fine.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out our greenhouse because it's getting too hot in there. So I think it was like 120 degrees in there yesterday or something like that. It's getting too hot and we can't leave our plants in there. So we have to buy shade cloth. Yeah, so we're going to put shade cloth over the top of it and hopefully that will stop it from getting so hot. We leaving the door and everything open in there. It's just so hot in there. And carrots and stuff won't survive. So,
thanks, Becca. Here's my other admin. Rebecca Terry is here. So thanks, Becca. I should have called you. Except I already woke you up once today. Oops. So
my husband, he has the main green thumb around here. Like he last year grew the 10-foot tall tomatoes. Ooh. So yeah, our tomatoes were ridiculous. We had this giant wall of tomatoes. It was and they were all over the place. And he usually the Brad Atomic grape and stuff is really hard to grow. Mm-hmm. We had tons of them. All over the place. And I got him on this tomato. It's called Kellogg's Breakfast. And I want to grow that one. Yeah, it's really good. I actually don't even like tomatoes, and I like that one. It's real sweet, and it's real thick, and it doesn't have a nasty core like some of them do.
Right.
I compare it to a Cherokee purple, but it's just yellow.
It was developed here in Michigan, so I want to grow up because I think it would be still acclimated to this area, something that would grow well in this area. So
yeah, so it's pretty good. My husband really likes them, so we're going to plant those this year, and then we're going to try and sell some of our plants this year. So we got like just regular varieties. We got beefsteak and stuff like that.
My garden has to have beefsteak and it has to have raw ones. So those are my two favorite standbys.
Oh, okay.
Beefsteak and the Romas.
Yeah. We planted the Amish paste last year, and oh my gosh, I still have tomatoes in my freezer. Like, I still need to can. I haven't got it all canned yet. We have a huge, I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTube people called Living Traditions.
Yes.
They showed this version of how to can, and they put everything in a roaster. An electric roaster, and then left it in there for a couple days or a couple hours or whatever. So that's what I did this year. Like, the year before, we just did it outside, and I ended up burning some of my stuff. Yeah. So I did it on a roaster pan this year, and I threw carrots and onions in there and peppers, all these peppers and stuff, and I made a wonderful sauce. It is my first year making sauce, and it is so good. It doesn't need any sugar or anything in it. It's like pure wonderful. Like, I was making little pizzas and stuff with it, and it was so good. So I might actually make spaghetti for lunch. That's it.
That actually sounds pretty good.
And the tomato juice, we used it on stuffed peppers. I made stuffed peppers the other day, and I cracked open that tomato juice, and it is just so good. And it has such a good fresh flavor.
I don't like the store-bought ones have a tin can taste to me.
Yeah.
So I really, really want to can tomatoes. If I can can nothing else every year, I want to can tomatoes because I don't like that taste of the store-bought.
Yeah, I don't like it either now that I've had it. Like, I do usually get typically V8 juice, but you think about it, like, this is kind of a comparison, but Snapple, for instance, they switched from a glass to a plastic jar, I can't drink, like, they still have the glass bottles and you pay more for them, but I can't drink the Snapple out of the plastic. It doesn't even taste the same. And that when something is in plastic like that, it just doesn't.
Yep.
It doesn't have the same flavor. So I'm going to try and do all my own stuff this year. And tomato juice and tomato sauce is like the number one around here. So, yeah.
And you save so much money by canning it yourself.
Yeah.
That's, I think my favorite thing to can is I watch the clearance mushrooms and grab them at the grocery store when they go half off. And then I can mushrooms because those little tiny cans for pizza, I can can a pint for less than the cost of one of those little pizza cans I use for pizza. So it's like, why would I not can that?
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Oh, they're talking about our greenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a window vent thing that opens the window automatically when it gets like 70 degrees in there. And then we have been leaving the door open, and the vent is still opening the back window too. So it's just super hot in there. And we need to find a way to keep the airflow going through there and stuff like that. Hi, Will.
Bye, Will. Maybe Becca could take care of that comment for us. Thank you.
Oh, Lord.
So,
but, yeah, so we're going to have I'm going to be so busy this summer. I'm already busy right now with everything that's going on. And then, of course, my husband's going to make a fence next to the garden. And we have like a bunch of like outdoor toys and stuff. So I could put him out there while I'm working in the garden and not have him ripping up my plants because he was already out there the other day and he was digging in the beds and having a good time. But I can't risk him messing up my stuff.
I am going a whole different direction with all of that.
Okay.
Oh, I fixed it.
To block Will.
Thank you.
If you're not talking about canning,
you're out of here. Last year I planted a deer paradise. In fact, she was so comfortable. She had twins in my garden and never left all summer. Wow. So every time I go out to the property, I don't live there. She was in the garden with her babies, laying down, having a nap, because they didn't have to go very far for anything to eat at all. So I put a 4-foot fence around. I got 2 sides done and the stuff for the other side. So I'm hoping to get the other side. I know they can get in a 4-foot fence. Yeah. I just want to slow her down a little bit. There's a lot of, I've planted a field with clover and stuff. Go eat the clover, leave the garden alone.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
But I went out and she hadn't touched the fruit trees. So as long as she doesn't eat the fruit trees, she'll be fine. But
yeah,
we
have a fence around our garden. So far, we have had something dig through our raised beds, and we don't know exactly what it is. So I don't really know if they'll come back again this year or not. But my husband is a huge pepper grower. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to sprinkle his magic pepper stuff all over the place, because it's a combination between all these hot peppers and what he grew in the garden a couple years ago. It's Moruga Satan and Carolina Reapers.
Ooh, that should
sprinkle some of that around the gardens this year, and hopefully no varmints or, and I was so ticked last year. I bought all these seeds from Baker Creek. I'm a huge Baker Creek fan. And I bought all these sunflower seeds. I was like, let's plant these down by the road. And when the people drive by, they'll be all cheery seeing these sunflowers. So a week later, we look out there and there's still nothing there. There's nothing. I'm like, I know these seeds weren't duds. They're good seeds. What's going on?
Yeah.
My husband saw a squirrel out there, chipmunks out there eating all my seeds. So this year we're going to start them. You're not supposed to start sunflower seeds, but we're going to start them this year and put them out there so that they don't get eaten down.
Yeah.
Out of there, because it's expensive feeding squirrels.
I have a little flower garden that I call Grandma's Garden, and I moved all of my mom's flowers out there. And then a friend of mine, Bree, her grandma's house was being sold out of the family, and she wanted some of the flowers, but she doesn't have any land. And I said, well, just put them at my place and we'll put them in Grandma's garden. And then when you get your own house, you can take them back.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I'm like, why are there daffodils growing across the road at the edge of the road in the woods? Oh, the squirrels had taken all the daffodils and moved all of the bulbs across the road, and I had to go dig them out of the road and
dirt road. That's such a pain. Oh,
dig them out and put them back. And it's like, leave those alone. I'm gonna have to put them in little cages or something to keep them from carrying them off.
Yeah, they just don't
eat them.
Yeah.
Why, it's like, no, I want my plants where I planted them. I planted black walnuts for the squirrels. They could go eat the black walnuts I planted. Yeah. Planted enough for both of us. Come on.
Yeah, we have that's funny that you mentioned that. I have my grandmother, I call it the grandmother's garden. I have this plaque that I made for my grandmother off of it. Somebody made it on Etsy, and it's basically a landscaping brick, and then they carved the front of it, and it says Grandma's Garden. And I don't know if you're familiar with the song In the Garden. Mm-hmm. My grandmother was a big piano player, and she used to play that song a lot. She used to love it. So I quoted that song on the brick, and I put it in the garden. So yeah, so it's, and it's not just my grandmother's garden. It's like my husband as well. Like it's a grandma's garden, but it's so wonderful having all those flowers there and stuff. She would have loved it.
I'm on a seed exchange on Facebook, and somebody's like, I have all these flowers that came from my grandma, and I don't have room in my yard to plant them. Will you plant them? And she's actually sending me some for her. So there'll be 3 grandmas represented in my garden this year.
Oh, that's so great.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll send you pictures, and it'll be fun. So I'm hoping to kind of expand it that, anybody that wants to plant. I have 6 acres there. So.
Oh my gosh, Ginger Ninja in the house. What's up?
Hi. Thank you for coming in.
She's my #1 fan.
Oh, awesome.
Me and Jess fight over all the time.
Well, I'm going to steal her away from you. So she's coming over to the dark side, as we call our Facebook group.
That's hilarious. Oh, Howie. Hi, honey. How are you doing?
Hi. Thank you for coming in.
Right, yeah. So every year I get excited to plant in Grandma's garden, and I got these hollyhocks from Baker Creek. They're supposed to get freaking huge, and I can't wait to plant those. And I already started them. They're in the basement, but I got hollyhocks, and I saved all these zinnia seeds from last year. So I have like all these zinnia seeds I'm just going to throw in there, and then I'm going to buy Tractor Supply has those wildflower mixes or whatever. It's like $10, and it comes, you can get like 1,000 or 10,000 square feet of wildflowers. So I'm going to throw that in there, and it's just going to be a wildflower conglomeration, and I can't wait.
That sounds like fun. I have like a little triangle in the front. That's where the orchard is. And I've planted red raspberries, blackberries, the fruit trees, and it's my food forest. And then I'm trying to plant flowers and stuff in there. So we went to Dollar Tree and got one of those wildflower boxes. I don't know if any of those seeds will come up, but we spread them around.
They will.
We were out there. We spread them around. So hopefully.
They will. I planted alyssum and stuff from the year before, because they have those the stuff in the boxes. It's just alyssum, and I planted those. That was one of my grandmother's favorite things. So I have a planter of hers in the backyard, and I planted the alyssum in there, and they popped up, and they were good seeds. I mean, I didn't have an issue with them. So
the little guy, he's like, I want to plant. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. So we grabbed a couple. He grabbed a package of their 25-cent perennial mix, and then that box. I'm like, get the box. It's bigger. Maybe we'll get more.
Yeah.
So,
but that's so cute that he wants to do that. I love that.
I like having them involved. I had another little piece of property, and I sold it, and it had these blackberries on it. So I transplanted 25 blackberry bushes, but only 12 of them came up. And so I have one row of blackberries from there, and I transplanted some flowers from there because they were going to level it, and they actually leveled it and built a garage on the property. So it was
in your package that I sent you, I've sent you some radish seeds. Those always make the kids go crazy, because they're in 25 days you're going to have a radish. So I sent you some of those. They grow really quick.
They'll love it. I'll probably share some with the little girl in my videos is actually my third cousin. And
okay.
I babysit for her. And we planted her a garden. And so she has a garden here where I'm at right now. This is their house. I'm actually waiting for them to come home from school here in half an hour. So when they get here, then the live will be over. But we planted her. She's got a rose bush. She has Egyptian walking onions.
Oh, I'd love to have that.
Awesome. Oh, I can send you some. I have a ton of them.
For real? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll send you. I mean, you'll have a life.
They just spread all over the place, though, or they
everywhere. They kind of they grow up on a stalk like a giant chive, and then they do little onion sets on top. and then they get so heavy they fall over. So whichever direction they fall over, that's where then they'll start growing. They actually start growing before they fall off.
Oh man, you're going to be sending me some stuff I couldn't find, because I tried to find those Egyptian walking onions and I couldn't find those either.
Oh, I have them all over in the food forest.
That's
I
awesome.
have them at my house. They came from my mother's, actually, and I can't kill them. They're hardy to zone 3, and I take the seed heads this time of year, the little sets that have not fallen off yet, and then I just spread them out in the food forest, and they're coming up everywhere out there. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And you can eat every part of that plant you can eat. So the little ones on top are like the little pickling onions that people do in like when you see like a fancy martini and they have that little onion.
Yeah. Or like those peas. Like I always used to eat, the canned peas with the little teeny onions in them. I used to love those.
Yes. So you get the little onions on top. All of the green is like chives. So you can eat, this stalk goes about 3 foot tall and it gets as big around as my thumb. And you can grab one of those and have it as chives. And then you can pull them up and there's like a little onion bulb on the bottom. So you can eat every part of this plant.
Wow.
My kids go out and they pick a stalk like a chive and they just chew on it like kids eat carrots. So if your son has onion breath, you know where it came from. It's very kid friendly. They love them because they're like, oh, this is so cool. They love to like take them apart and drop them and grow more and eat them.
Well, I recently acquired some wild leeks ramps.
Oh, yes.
And the seeds. So I'm going to try and plant those. We're going to try and do a food forest. So, and then I got some comfrey seeds and.
Do you want comfrey root?
I'm sorry?
Do you want some comfrey root?
I mean, if you can mail it, that's awesome.
Oh, I have.
You can mail stuff like that, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, you can mail the root. You just you can cut this root into sections and it will just grow. But the one I have is kind of clumping. It's not the kind that's going to spread everywhere. It's just going to kind of go slowly out, so you don't have to worry about it taking off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was told that comfrey just spreads everywhere, but if it's that other kind, it won't. Okay.
It's the clumping one. It's the one you want. And then the leaves are just huge, and I use them for medicine.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And then they have pretty purple flowers on top. So they kind of, I planted them in front of my house to annoy my neighbors. So I'm not a big lawn person, and all of my neighbors mow their lawn on the diagonal and are obsessed with weed killer and lawns and stuff like that. So I put an herb garden in the front of my yard, so they have to look at that. And
people don't understand. Like every time I see the neighbor over the way, he like sprays his driveway, and I just like.
I know. Well, that's why I bought the property in the country, because I just need to get away from these people so that I can actually have a garden, because they even destroy things on my property. I caught them. I came home one day and they had a tractor plowing up my yard because they were going to reseed my yard with theirs.
That's not okay.
No, it's not okay. They didn't ask permission, and they were like 4 foot into my yard with a tractor doing wheelies.
Yeah, that's not good.
In town. So yeah, I'm getting away from them. They're horrible neighbors. Horrible.
Yeah, that sounds like it. And too nosy too. Like, why do they care about your lawn? Like,
the people before me built a 6-foot fence between our property and theirs because they couldn't mind their own business. That's sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yes, comfrey is safe for animals. You just don't want vineyard chicks. It is medicinal. It does have something in it. They recommend that people don't eat it. They used to give it as a tea to humans, but they recommend that you don't. But it is safe for animals in small doses. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
But if your goat ate your whole comfrey plant, I wouldn't panic or anything.
Hey, B War, what's going on in the stream? Yes. We are talking about canning, and she was asking me questions about gardening and stuff like that. So, is he new to you? Or?
I've never met BB War, but thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so I'm excited about that kind of stuff. Thank you so much. I need to give you some more seeds.
Oh, I'm good.
Well, you'll have to come down. You'll have to come down, and I don't know. I'll give you jars of pickles and eggs and whatever you need. You just come down here, and I'll visit.
Well, maybe we'll trade some hatching eggs so we can.
Yeah. Well, I'll have some really unusual birds for you. I have all different kinds. Lavender Orpington, I have Barred Rock, and then I have Polish. So they could be anything.
Well, the ones we're going to hatch, I know have some Rhode Island Red in them. I know they have some Barred Rock in them. And I know they have Buff Orpington in them. But I don't know what percentage. And then they had this beautiful rooster. I haven't been out there to see what their chickens look like right now. It's been a few years because I haven't needed the eggs and they're a ways away. Yeah, Becca says, I got the incubator running. Is it up to temp, Becca? So Becca's the one I loaned my incubator to so her kids could see the chicks hatch.
We borrowed the neighbors when we had a Barred Rock that sat on like 20 some eggs.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And she was doing it. We have an Amish buggy out there, and she was doing it in the back of the Amish buggy. So we couldn't really see what was going on in there. And my husband inspected, and he's like, she's sitting on so many eggs. That's where all your eggs are going. And so we looked at all of them, and we picked the ones that we thought were going to do something. And then we had to borrow the neighbors. They had a incubator. So we borrowed that, and we hatched our first chicken, but she didn't live very long. She lived for 3 days. And but anyway, we found another incubator at a garage sale because my friend, she hatches eggs too, but she said she couldn't figure out this incubator. Well, it's like a foreign one and everything's in Celsius and stuff like that. So she just had a hard time translating the Fahrenheit, the Celsius thing. So we got this brand new incubator we haven't used yet. So, and it rotates the eggs for you too. It's like,
mine does too.
Yeah. So I'm excited to use it. We're going to try and hatch some eggs. I know some people want chickens from us. So.
Well, that'll be fun. I love Orpingtons. I love the Buff Orpingtons because they're so
nice.
They're calm. They're friendly. They let the kids handle them. So that's.
And I have 5 roosters. 2 of them are Lavender Orpingtons, and they're so nice. They're just, and I couldn't believe it one time. The big one, his name is Valentino. I named him because we got him on Valentine's Day, and I got to pick him up one time. I couldn't believe he let me pick him up. He's so gentle, and he lets me hand feed him, and no wonder all the ladies love him.
Yeah.
And then we have a giant Easter egger rooster too. His name is Gerald. And he just thinks he's the stuff. He walks around that yard fluffing himself, but he's a sweetheart too. He doesn't let me handle him or, hand feed him as much as the other ones do, but he's a pretty nice rooster.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I'm surprised because everybody says that roosters can be super nasty. Now, I did have one that was nasty, and it was a lavender one. I had 6 roosters, and we called him T-Rex. He was nasty. And we went out there. I went out there one day, and I was hand feeding. I always hand feed all my birds like some scratch and stuff so they can get used to me. And
they'll come to you if they get out.
And so I was out there hand feeding, and he took some food from me, and that was great. And then he jumped at me and scratched my hand. And I had a big tin bucket, and I put it in between us, and I kind of whacked him with it because he was coming at me. But then I started walking towards him because you're not supposed to show fear with a rooster. So I started walking towards him. I said, "You ain't doing that to me." And and then I finally left the barnyard, like I left the yard, and I didn't turn around, because if you turn around, they'll really come after you. So I just faced him and then left the yard. Well, my husband the next day, I was telling him, I'm like, there's a rooster out there that tried to attack me. I'm letting you know, like, it's pretty nasty. He goes out there to check on our turkey, and that rooster got him right in the back of the leg.
Yeah.
He was wearing shorts too. So I got him right in the back of the calf.
Live. Get in there, say hi.
Hi.
Go. He can't help himself.
I know. He wants to be a part.
Well, hello, Emperor Palpatine. Thanks for coming in.
You're in the wind. Whoosh. Yeah, for real. It's windy here.
It's very windy here today too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had I used to have horses, and the barn where I kept horses, somebody gave them 2 fighting style roosters. I can't think of the name of the breed. I'm like, this is not going to go well. You have small children. This was a bad idea. And they would chase me around, and I would make sure that they could not do that when I went out every day to take care of the animals. And one day they were gone, and there was a note that they were gone. They would not be chasing anybody's children anymore. They picked on the wrong child. I'm like, no, you having a rooster is fine, but you really want to make sure you pick the breed to,
right.
Where you have.
I do love the fighting style roosters, though. They're beautiful. They're cocky looking, and they're beautiful and whatever, but I do not want them coming after me. No way.
And my chickens are pets, so I want them to have the attitude of a pet.
Right.
Not the attitude of a tiger that's, waiting to pounce. So.
Yeah, I would really hate, though, if I don't think they're going to get mean. We've had them for almost 2 years. It's going on. No, it is 2 years. No, year and a half. They're not going to get mean now. No. So. There's just
not unless something changes with the dynamic. If one of them passes away, then one might assert some dominance. But unless your dynamic changes, you should be fine.
Yeah. Well, I lost my turkey a couple days ago. My big beauty.
Oh, I watched your replay on that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So, I was really, really sad about that, and I think the dynamic in the yard is going to change, because she was always fighting with Gerald. Mm-hmm. And Gerald was, and she was just, and she was a big girl. Like my husband said, when he tried to lift her, she was like 50 pounds.
I have a turkey story for you.
Sure.
So my brother had a turkey. Oh, here comes the kids. I'm on a live. Will you let the kids, little ones know? My brother, had a turkey show up, a tame one, show up at his property. And so he kept it in his garage. At night, he'd open the garage, and the turkey would go in and bed down. He had some straw there. It was a hen. And then he'd open the door in the morning, and she would leave. Well, somebody reported him to the DNR for trapping a wild turkey. So the DNR officer showed up at my brother's house to investigate this claim. And my brother's like, no, I've got a tame one, but, she comes and goes as she wants. She's not in a fence. And he opens the door, and she comes out, and he sees him. He goes, well, how do you know she's tame and not wild? He goes, well, because every day we get in the car, and she goes with me, and we both get a coffee at the gas station. Want to come along? We're on our way there now. And the guy goes, what? My brother opens his truck. The turkey hops in. My brother gets in. He's like, seriously, we're headed to the gas station. If you want to come, we'll buy you a coffee. I love that. He goes, are we here done now, or is there something else you need to ask me? And the guy's like, and my brother's like, okay, have a nice day. My brother leaves. He goes to the gas station like he did every day. He ordered 2 coffees, one for him, one for the turkey. Comes out.
That's hilarious.
Opens hers up. The guy's just standing there watching him do it, shaking his head, and off he went.
That is hilarious, though. I love that story. That is so cool.
Yeah, and they went every day for coffee, him and his turkey. Every day. Every day.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, Becca, this one was just like a dog.
Yeah, they are. And that's what's so hard about, that's when you like, I think everybody should raise a couple turkeys. I think to get that feel. We dispatched 10 this last summer, and we raised them, and they were like dogs. I think everybody needs that experience, because you start to get a bond with those animals, and and it is hard. It's hard to do that, but I think everybody needs that experience.
Thank you for coming over and ask our Nana. This is my first one, so I may have done something wrong if it's sitting over there by itself, because I thought we were live on that one. So
yeah, it's more. Sometimes I do that too, Tammy. So right. It's hard. You just have to play around with it.
Yeah.
Hello, Alex Wind Dancer.
Hi, Alex.
Gang. Thanks for coming in, guys. That's awesome. We have a good group here.
Yeah, I'm happy. Thank you all. Thank you, Courtney, for coming. It's hard to do a live when you have nobody to talk to.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Sometimes I'm just like, well, see, it is hard for some people, but not me. I could talk to a brick wall. So I'm a talker. So like I could just talk. So
I've been told that, but I really prefer to have an audience.
Yes.
Hi, Unique Adventures.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yes. Yeah, when turkeys, like, I know there's a big YouTube thing right now complaining about their male turkey, and it's like, that's because you've hand raised him to think you are one of him.
Yep.
They're not like that, and you're doing something wrong if your turkey is attacking you. It sees you as a rival instead of a friend.
Yeah.
And you've done something. You're not raising them right if that's what's going on. You need to understand they're still, going to be birds, and they're going to protect. That one is protecting its female, that turkey, from that other group who shall be nameless.
Hi, Old Reading Farm. Thanks for coming in.
Well, hi. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for deleting that guy, guys. I was about ready to, and somebody already did it, so I appreciate it. But yeah, so I love turkeys, and I like any male bird. That's just because I like their colors. Yes. They especially a turkey. I love the way their necks get blue and all these. I just love that.
Red when they're.
Yeah. Or then they have that giant schnood that comes down and just, yeah, I love that. And that's why I like the male birds, but not all of them are nice. When you get them, you can experience a really nasty bird, but most of the time they're pretty docile. So, and you just give them a lot of ladies and they'll just be happy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And don't get between them and their ladies. Keep the ladies on the other side of them. That's what this other group is doing. They're walking between the two of them, and they're getting between that male turkey and his female in his breeding season. And they're like, oh, he keeps attacking us. Well, then stay away from that side of him,
Right.
Keep
him his space.
Yeah. Well, I think they've hand raised the female. She wants to come up to them, and the male is like, oh no, that's a rival.
Yeah.
And they've got it. They don't realize that they're cutting in between and walking, and yeah.
Yeah, we used to sell turkey eggs because our turkey every year, she was just a happy layer. Sometimes 2 eggs a day.
Wow.
Yeah, she was a happy girl.
Wow.
And she just loved, she really loved where she was. She was a very happy, we kept her very happy.
Yes.
And she laid 64 eggs last year.
Oh, it's just, this chair is so uncomfortable. Sorry, I keep wiggling around. It's just so bad that the meat breeds don't live as long as the heritage breeds because of their weight.
Yeah. You can get them to live longer, I was told. But, we would have had to have fed her separate from all the other birds.
Yeah.
And,
then she wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Then she would have been by herself, and she really just loved to be with everybody. And
Right. Right. Yes, Ginger Ninja. I love how turkeys, if you talk to them, Courtney was telling a story about hers where she would talk to her and she'd talk back.
Yeah. Yeah. They're so cute. And every time I'm in the garden or anything, I would like talk to her, you go like that, and she'll just perk up. She'll just, and she'll start talking back to you, and they're so vocal, and I love it.
Yes. Yeah. I had one a few years back. Somebody had raised them, and then they could not process them, and they had males and females, and so I split them. There was 6 total. Put all 6 of them in my van, and I have one of my Facebook profile pictures is there's a turkey over each side of me as I'm driving down the road, looking out the window with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
And everybody's like, "Why are you doing that?" And I'm like, "Well, my brother had one in his car. Why couldn't I put 6 in mine? I got always one up my brother. He's older, but And so I drove them to my friend's house, and we split. She took the females and males for breeding, and I took the leftover males and raised them with my chickens. They were pets, not for eating, but just for pets. And they help guard the hens and the yard and stuff, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just full personality, and I absolutely love them.
Bye, Vineyard Chicks. Do good in your schoolwork today.
Yep.
I just love those girls. They have the greatest videos, and they're just so much fun when you can tell they're having fun with it when they post something.
Yeah.
So. Oh, thank you, James Garland. God bless you too. Thank you. So Courtney, question for you. Got a couple minutes left here. What are you going to pressure can first?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. Whatever comes first in the garden. So I don't know. I'm thinking, because I have a bunch of beans and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking about doing those. I thought about drying them, but the Broussards said something to me that is very important. They said when they had a natural disaster happen over there, like what was easier, cooking beans that are dried or cooking beans that have already been canned?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing, because I got pinto beans and kidney bean seeds, not seeds, but they're little beans, and I'm going to try and get those and can those. But I'm going to do it, I guess you put them in a sauce. I'm not really sure yet.
You can.
But I'm going to do probably if those come first. If not, then I'm going to try and do, we got those dragon tongue bush beans, and I really, really love those.
Those are like green beans, aren't they?
They're different color. They're like beautiful color, but they're similar to a green bean, and they are so good. So I would totally on those.
I have an order. Well, this is back to water bath canning because these are water bath, but I have an order for dilled green beans. So I can't wait till green beans come in season because my daughter, who's in her 20s, took all of my dilled green beans down to college, and they've ate them all. She's like, could you do some more? I did them with. I did
dilly beans. Is that what they call them?
Dilly beans, but I put some hot peppers, some cayenne peppers in half of them. So I'm not sure which one they like the best, the spicy dilly beans or the plain dilly beans.
Nice. I don't know how many I'll get. Okay, I had all these wonderful ideas over Reading Farm, and I was going to plant these wonderful sesame seeds too. And then you realize that if you grow sesame seeds, you're not going to get I wanted to get some oil and do my own oil and stuff. Yeah, right. I have to have a whole field of sesame seeds, but I'm going to try. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes with the beans, but I think I got these other ones too. They're called Jade something or another. And I'm going to try and
plant little tiny green, really dark jade, like a jade green.
Yeah.
I have some of those. I got some of those this year. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it works. And my successful bean story was not coming out of spring. It was going into fall. I started those dragon tongue bush beans like around August 1st, and they it was they take 60 days to grow, and they did wonderful. And I had beautiful beans going into the fall, and they were sweet because the night air was cooler. And they were just wonderful. I ate them right off the bush because you could just snap them and you can put them on your salad. I never even cooked them or anything because they didn't make it that far.
Yeah. Yeah. I will not eat cooked peas. I absolutely don't like the texture. But I always plant peas because I love to eat them fresh out of the garden.
Yeah.
You know,
very good. They're very, very good. This year we were going to do the King Tut again, and those are really beautiful, and I love the color of them. But I had a bunch of Lincoln peas, so we have, I don't know how many of those. We started some, so we're going to plant those. I don't know if we're going to plant them today or tomorrow, but we're going to get those in the ground. So
I will work on that, Courtney's husband. Deal. I promise. I'll do it. We'll get it done.
I might try to can meat. We'll see. If we I don't know. If we get this other stimulus package, we might buy a side of beef or something with it. And if that's the case, then I'm going to have to start canning some beef. So we'll see how it works.
You would love like beef stew, canned beef stew, because you can like just open it, dump it, bring it to a boil it for 10 minutes, and dinner's done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and you have a good, healthy, everybody loves it to eat.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I just taught Rebecca how to can. So she inherited her grandma's pressure canner.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, she has a great big All-American. So I'm like, oh, you have a big canner. I'll come over and we'll can at your house.
Yeah, really. That's amazing.
Mine won't fit under my the word has escaped me, but I can't fit it in the stove underneath the hood. Thank you.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. My kitchen was built in the 1940s, and it's the original kitchen, and the hood is so low that I'm 99% sure I'm gonna have to use like another heating element to pressure can, because I don't think I can get that big sucker underneath my range hood. But eventually we'll remodel the kitchen, but that's not happening anytime soon. So
I can't make a lasagna in my kitchen because I have a half-size oven.
Oh, well,
and the people that built the house, that put that oven in, had 5 to 6 boys. And so I don't know why they would have ever not had a full-size oven.
Yeah, how would you
to feed these kids? How did you feed them? But the house was originally built by a doctor, so they must have had it all catered or ate out, or I just don't know. I can't fit a lasagna pan in, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's
I have to do 2 little half pans, and cookie sheets. I have to get the half cookie sheets. It's like, that's no fun.
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have my grandmother's original stove and stuff in here, because she had just like a little teeny like wall stove and or a wall oven, I mean, and yeah, that would have never worked for me.
That's what this is. It's a wall oven, and it's just it's half size. It's like, what do I do in that? There's nothing to do in it. I got a roaster for my turkey because I couldn't put my turkey in the oven. Like, how do these people eat?
Exactly.
But it is going on 3:00 now. I don't know if you have a little bit of time. I guess they're going to be quiet here. I was kind of worried about when the kids came home, but they're
being good.
Yes. Well, they all have their own YouTube channels.
They do?
Yes. My son doesn't, but the 3 little kids I babysit that are my cousins, they all have their own YouTube channels. So, they understand this because they've got 3 videos out each. All gaming. So sorry, I'm not plugging them, but they're all on gaming. So
I love that. That's so great.
Yeah.
Bye, Old Reading Farm.
Bye.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you, everybody.
So
yeah.
But yeah. But thank you so much, Courtney. This is great. I'm trying to get my watch hours in. I'm so close to, well, I feel close. Not really. It's 1,000 hours away. Feels close compared to the first 3,000. But
well, if you need me for anything, let me know. I stay at home most of the time. As long as I can put my son down for a nap, I can do lives. So just let me know and I can plan them out and I'll help you. So
all right. And if anybody else wants to be a guest that will talk to me, shoot me an email because I'm not very good at sitting up here. I like a live audience.
I understand.
And I'm not babysitting. They went back to regular school, so I'm not babysitting anymore. So I have a lot of time on my hands. So let me know. Okay. This was wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and if you want to stay with me for a minute, Courtney, and I'm going to end the broadcast. And thank you, everybody, for coming by. And I hope to do one next week. I'm lining up a guest for next week. So sometime next week, I'll do one next week, too. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.